Hey, I'm John Spencer Ellis, JSE. Welcome to the show. That is Jennie Cwikla. How are you?
I'm awesome, thanks.
So, right before we started the show, you just told me, this is crazy, that you competed in the strongman, strong woman competition in Scotland, finished sixth in the world. In that same year, you competed in the Arnold.
Correct, yeah.
It's cool and it's crazy. So, we're going to get into all kinds of cool stuff. Women's fitness, sports nutrition, women's role in the fitness industry, how male trainers can better understand female clients, and how we can get more women involved in the health and fitness and wellness industry. So we're going to get to that. Now, talk about how in the heck did you become one of the world's strongest women and compete in a figure or physique competition as well?
Sure, so I think it's best to backtrack a little bit and, describe the story behind my motivation to get to all of that. I think my story begins very similar to a lot of people who join the fitness industry as a professional trainer or nutritionist, and that is my life was changed by somebody else who helped me through my journey. I was overweight, over 200 pounds.
Wow.
I was in school studying kinesiology at a local college here in San Diego, and working 3 jobs and going to school. I didn't take time to take care of my fitness and my health, and so I ended up gaining a lot of weight. In high school, I was athlete all 4 years, water polo, swim, cross country, and so training wasn't foreign to me. It was when I got into the real world of working and going to school that I didn't understand the changes that my body was going to go through, and so it happened before I could even notice it, and I found myself in a Great Depression and lost and out of control as to how to make my body make the changes that I wanted them to go through. So I hired a trainer, just like anyone else would do, has a goal, and I lost 55 pounds in almost 4 months, and from
good.
there. Yeah, my story was sold on an infomercial. I don't know if I can name it here, but
Yeah, you can. It's all right.
it was Nordic Track,
Okay.
Incline Trainer.
Sure. Oh, yeah. That's a really cool product.
Yeah, and so did a commercial for them, and then I ended up. My life was forever changed at that point, and I ended up interning for the person who helped me with my transformation. His name is Dave Depew of the Body Transformation Club.
I know Dave. Dave's awesome.
Dave is amazing. And so I offered my services for free to him for a year and a half. And my goal was to just learn as much as I possibly could from him because I wanted to help other people the way that he had helped me. And so I started running boot camps, and I learned a lot about nutrition and training, got my own certifications. Nesta was my very first one.
Cool.
And
I recently just learned that, so thank you. That's very cool.
and so, yes, thank you for putting that out there, because if it wasn't for that program, it wouldn't have been my gateway, But from there, I started my own business, and it was called Jennie's Rock Your Body Boot Camp. I ran a boot camp for 3.5 years in multiple areas here in San Diego, and then I had this light bulb, I guess you could say, come on, and it was great helping so many people get into fitness and get a great workout, but I was unable to get them the results that they were coming to me for, because I just had so many people at once, and I couldn't help the masses by myself. So at that point in time, I had gotten into fitness as a figure competitor, and I had a female coach who coached me for many years in figure, and I enjoyed it. And one thing that she always pointed out to me was that I was so strong. I would be doing, shoulder presses with 20 pounds while the other girls would be using 12. And, I was kind of like the odd duck in the bunch. And, maybe it was from Dave's training. Maybe it was, I do remember, setting little goals for myself that every 2 weeks I was going to pick up a heavier set of dumbbells. And, if I had to drop set, that was fine. But I wanted to be stronger. I wanted the results to happen faster. And so I just kept pushing myself.
I wanted people to know something, because we talked about Dave Depew a couple times, and he doesn't know we're talking about him on the show, but I'm gonna let him know so he listens in or watches the show. Dave has been a friend of mine for, I don't know, a decade or more. Dave Depew in San Diego. I think we need to give credit to people when credit is due. And
Absolutely.
First of all, Dave's super cool. He's super smart. And now he's like an arm wrestling guru. Like his arms and his technique is just crazy. But Dave is one of the people in the country that pioneered body transformations. Now, obviously, there's a lot to do. Other people have done a lot for body transformation as well. But Dave really pioneered it as a business model and doing it for case studies for infomercials.
Yes.
And so Dave's business was to show validity of different programs and systems, so infomercials could say, in this case study, we got these results. So the FTC doesn't say, hey, you guys are lying to people. This doesn't really work. He would take this group of people. He was paid to do so and paid well. And he would put them through the program that would be offered later on the infomercial, get the results, document it all. He learned about transformation. He became one of the guys. And obviously one of your coaches, which is super cool. And so he actually is due a lot of credit. So I just want to make sure that people know that about Dave's greatness.
Yes. I can't thank him enough for what he's done and helped me with and continues to help me with as a supporter in the industry. So then, just from my own growth in my own athleticism, I began to lead others in that direction as well, going from just general weight loss into, helping them find areas to compete in and to really push their bodies to their maximum level. Because, ultimately, that's what so many people come to us and say that they want is they want to be in the best shape of their life. They want to feel the best that they've ever felt. Mm-hmm. Gives them more confidence. It makes them happier. It makes helps them be healthier. So I wanted to help lead people in that direction as well. And I've been very successful in coaching women in figure and bikini. Still today, I do coach for figure and bikini. And then. There was just something in me after a few years of doing that said, I need something bigger. I need something that I haven't done before. I need to, achieve something, bigger than the gym that I was in at that time. And friends of mine said, you're so strong naturally. What would happen if you actually applied a strength training program to what you're already naturally good at? And so, my training partner, Kristen Rhodes, is a 3-time world's strongest woman. Wow. She has 3 Guinness Book World Records and 6-time America's strongest woman. She lives right down the street from me, and she's been my training partner for the last 5-6 years. And she didn't do my training programs. Mike Westerling is my strength training coach. Mm-hmm. But together with working with one of the strongest women in the world and my coach, that is what led me to the Arnold and World's Strongest Woman.
And that's awesome. And first of all, I want to commend you on competing and becoming 6th in the world for the World's Strongest Woman, and then doing a figure physique bikini. I'm not sure which classification. Which one was it?
It was figure.
Figure, okay. In the same year, nonetheless, which is just crazy, challenging. But you've illustrated a point that's so important. I can't emphasize this enough. A lot of trainers and coaches think they reach this expert guru status and they stop being a student. They stop being coached. And you just talked about 4 or 5 of your coaches that you've had and still have some.
Still have.
Yeah, I have it varies depending on what I'm doing, but I still have at least 7 coaches. I have 7 coaches that I am coached by, consulted by, or mentored by each week or each month. At least 7. And some people go, but why do you do that? This is really funny. I'll just share this real quick. I was working with my Greco-Roman wrestling coach in Las Vegas, and his nephew was visiting and staying with he and his wife for like over the summer when I was training with him. And I guess my coach told the younger nephew, that I was some fitness expert or whatever. He built it up to say whatever. And the kid said to me, we sat down, I was kind of, wrapping up my wrist or something like that. And he said, why is my uncle coaching you? He says you're a guru or an expert or something, something like he thought he couldn't figure out why. I said, there is so much to learn. I don't know anything. Your uncle's awesome. He's a champion. I'm not a champion in wrestling, but I want to learn from the very best. And so I try to, without being like that guy who always has to give a lesson to the kid,
Yeah.
But just to let them know, you're always a student. You always need a mentor. You always need a coach. No matter who you are, where you're at, there's always someone better at what you want to do than where you're currently at.
Absolutely.
And you only die and wither when you think you have the answers.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't. I hire my own nutrition specialist as well.
Okay.
So I don't do my own nutrition. I need someone else to be able to look from outside the box at the path that I'm going on and make sure that that they see the things that I can't see.
You know what? I'm going to ask you a question because right before we got on here, I was eating my shredded roasted chicken, which I'm going to show the people here. So, and this is totally off topic, but I want your expertise. Okay, so just to give background, 'cause you need statistical information. So I'm 46 years old, 6 foot. I'm about 202 pounds. Okay, I'm working out about an hour and a half, 6 days a week between cardio, plyo, strength, functional. It's all mixed in together, martial arts stuff. There's the background. I have no digestive issues, no allergies or anything like that. Okay, so after I got back, I told you I had a Greek yogurt.
Yep.
Within about 20 minutes, and I had lots of water, and then I have this. This is from Hagen. For those of you who are watching or hearing this later on the podcast, I apologize. I'm going to create an image in your head. So it's basically a plastic container from Hagen grocery store, shredded roasted chicken, and this particular thing is 1.3 pounds. It's $8 per pound, and I make about 3 to 4 snack/meals out of this. Based on the information I gave you, and knowing my statistical information, how much should I have to where I can actually assimilate this protein, don't get gastric upset, and get the maximum benefit? Like if I eat this within an hour following my workout, how many ounces of this chicken breast should I consume approximately?
I would say 6 to 8.
6 to 8 ounces.
Yep.
Because any less, I'm not maximizing. Any more, I just won't be able to absorb that much protein?
Probably, yep.
Okay. All right, 6 to 8 ounces. Okay. Cool. All right, 6 to 8 ounces. And so I got to do the math on that a little later. We'll figure out. I want to make sure I get the right amount.
Yeah.
Totally random, but I'm talking to a licensed sports nutrition expert. I'm going to, see, I just got coached. It's awesome.
Yeah, if we were talking immediately post-workout, I would say lessen the protein a little bit so that you can get your carbs in there because you don't want the protein to slow down the digestion of the carbohydrates getting into your system.
Right,
so.
You want to volumize the cells again and get your glycogen levels back up. Okay.
Correct.
Excellent. All right, we're on the same page. I nailed it. Okay. So let's switch gears here. Let's talk about women entering the fitness industry because there's a little backstory to the show audience. I did some analytical information on my my Facebook videos, my podcast, the site analytics, and all the kind of different things. And my audience skews, for the most part, my personal audience skews to more women than I thought. And it's younger guys, but a little older ladies, meaning that the younger guys, 18 to 24, older ladies still young, but 25 to roughly 34 is more skewed that. I wasn't serving them enough. And so I wanted to do something to serve the ladies, to give them better information, to enhance their health and fitness lifestyle. So you, as a top health and fitness professional, one of the world's strongest women, which is just crazy, what advice would you have for a woman entering or wanting to grow in the health and fitness industry? And I'm not talking about any particular certification. We're not going to tout Nesta or any of our other associations, and there's a lot of other good ones too. So don't let anyone tell you they're not. But just in general, what is the philosophy that you would want them to embrace to become successful?
I think the philosophy that I would want them to embrace is to be able to serve their clients at the highest level. They need to make sure that they are, one, meeting their clients at the level that they're currently at. Mm-hmm. Meaning whether that's nutritionally or physically. You don't want to just jam someone into a program that's not going to be the right fit for them, because that's not going to serve either of you, mm-hmm. honestly. And in order to be successful, you've got to be able to get your clients results. So if you're not able to analyze from, first or second sessions with them, where they're at in their mindset, their nutrition and their habits, their environments at home and at work, their sleeping habits, their social habits, and their nutrient requirements and exercise levels, then you're not going to be able to guide them on the path that they need to get on to be successful.
So being fully present.
Being fully present and taking the time to pay attention to what they're actually telling you, and taking the time to ask questions to really get the story behind what their needs are and why they need that so badly. Their motivators, all that kind of stuff is what's going to help you be successful.
I love it, and I agree. And I actually, I'm paraphrasing from Pulp Fiction of all things, but when they're having a conversation, when they're in that crazy cafe, like the 50s diner, and Uma Thurman said to John Travolta, when you're having a conversation, are you listening or are you waiting to speak? And that's a huge distinction. Huge distinction. So, and this goes for, I think inherently women are better at this than men. Hey dudes, look, we gotta own it. If we're not, there's exceptions, but we're not as good at this as the ladies are. It's just the way it is. They're better communicators in general compared to the men.
Well, John, I was thinking about this before we got on the call today. Women are nurturers.
Yes.
It's in our genes. So it can come naturally for most women, and that's something that men may have to work extra on.
Oh, yes. There's something else too that men, and I'm generalizing, guys, don't hate me. I think if you're really honest with yourselves, you have to go, yeah, that's okay. the guys always have to prove their point and be right rather than just absorbing information and let it sit a while before coming back with a response rather than a reaction. I'm just as guilty. So we sometimes, as dudes, compared to the ladies, we need to shut up and listen and pause when necessary, and then come back with something helpful. However, it's interesting because earlier today I was in martial arts class, and there's a guy about my age, and we're warming up while the other class was ending, and we were talking about conversations we had the night before with our wives, and I was laughing at us, even though we both thought we were right, because we said, as the dudes, we want to solve the problem, and oftentimes the ladies aren't looking for a particular solution. They just want to have a discussion. Although a solution is often desired, the men just want to cut to the chase. And sometimes, if a guy's working with a lady, what advice would you have for the dude to be able to communicate more effectively with the lady client?
So when, but the first thing that comes to mind is, girls are like known for gossiping or chatter or stuff like that, and having like these female packs and rah, 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 that kind of thing is, they want support. They want someone to have their back. And they don't want someone to just tell them what to do, because that's what's going to get them the result. They need the infrastructure behind why they need to do that to understand, to put all the pieces together. So not just the instruction, like, oh, don't eat this, make sure you're doing this much cardio day, da 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 da. Really supporting them fully in terms of, their, like I mentioned, their social life, their family life. One of my big questions when I'm talking to my clients is, what's the support like at home? Do you live with others? Are you married? Do you have kids? What type of habits do you guys have as a family? So really kind of hitting those small things in the background, and not just focusing on the big things that they need to be doing to actually, make the changes.
I laugh at the guys sometimes. I believe that women have an inherent advantage when it comes to entrepreneurship, and in health and fitness and wellness and coaching, there's no exception. The reason is what you just alluded to. Oftentimes the guys want to go it alone, and the women like community and support. And as long as there's no jealousy involved, which can happen on both sides, men and women, but as long as there's no jealousy and there's a mutual benefit, the women tend to nurture and support each other's efforts more. The guys tend to get into that whole testosterone, ego, stupidity thing at times, not always.
Yeah.
And there are more guy groups forming that are kind of like the dude support network, and there's different things. And it's the tribe, and it's the club, and it's the brotherhood, and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's great. There probably isn't enough of that, or sometimes they do it for the wrong reasons. But I think the ladies, in general, have a strategic advantage when it comes to business and entrepreneurship over the men, because they will nurture and help and support and refer more freely and openly than the guys do. Now, this is a weird example, but just think about if someone has like a party to, and it might be a network marketing company, I don't know, but let's just say it's like Avon, or the ladies who sell the purses or the shoes, or they're doing something for some sort of function or charity or whatever. Generally, the ladies will come together uniformly and more easily than the guys would. And it's because they love to cherish and support and nurture each other, and that is an inherent advantage in growing their business. And the guys need to wake up to that and stop being, the inappropriate bro fest that kind of cuts down the other person. And because it really is to the guy's detriment, but it's kind of hardwired in our DNA. And so, hopefully they can set that aside. Yeah.
So I have a tip. An easy tip for guys and girls to implement in their businesses to kind of help with this. I do what I call a Success You Up Sunday conference call with all of my clients. And my clients are all online, but you can do this with your clients even if you work out of a gym or your own studio or your home or whatever. And I invite everybody on this call where we talk about our successes and our challenges, and we have an open Q&A. So it's a big call and a chance for everyone to get on the phone and have that sense of community. And mostly women do join the calls. And the men, they're just like, I got my instructions. I got a handle on this. No worries, But some guys do come on the call. But the girls are very, I don't know what the word I'm thinking of is, but they're on there every single week. They're on time. It's the same people every call. Even though the structure of the call is the same, they love to hear what the other challenges are from the other clients, and just understand that they're not alone in whatever challenges that they're having. They get motivated by the success that they hear from the other clients as well, and that makes them want to push harder in their own workouts. So that is a way for you to, as a trainer, use the clients that you have in place to help motivate your client even more instead of relying it all on yourself.
I think all trainers at some point get caught up in this, and I certainly did. And that is when we always talk about our victories and our triumphs. I'm look at what I'm doing. It's the guy with his shirt off swinging a kettlebell for his Instagram picture, and it's crushed another workout. It's like it's an animal. It's a tiger workout. We were this and that, and it's like a bunch of wild animals loose in the gym every day or something. Like everyone's an animal of some kind, and talking about how they're doing all this stuff, rather than talking about the challenges. Like when I lost, and a year and a half ago, I competed in the Jiu-Jitsu World Championships, and I got crushed. I dieted too much. The guy was good. I just got punked, and I thanked everyone for supporting me. And I acknowledged why I lost. The guy won outright. And it's okay. And I actually probably got more friends and fans because of that, rather than if I had won the world championship and said, hey, look at me, I'm awesome. Yeah. Because that's it's a cool thing, but it's such a rare occurrence. But the challenge, people bond over the challenges. They don't bond over the victory.
Right.
They just that's why everyone loves an underdog. That's why Hollywood actors and actresses who fall down, have drug addiction, have issues, and they come back because people empathize with them and they understand that they're human, and then they root for them, hopefully. And that's important. I want to ask you one more question here.
Yeah.
And that is this. You talk about all these different things we bond over in the failures and the challenges. You said at the beginning of the show that you were over 200 pounds. How often do you share that story with the ladies you work with, and how often is that a factor in them choosing you because they know you've been there?
I would say, well, first of all, I share the story often.
Okay.
I want everyone to be able to relate to me and understand that I've stepped in the steps that they're looking to go in. Yeah. And that I understand the thought processes that go behind what it feels like when you've got to push for an hour long in the gym, but your body isn't going to function as high level as you want it to, and the thoughts that go behind that, and feeling like you're not good enough, and you don't want to be seen in workout clothes and all that kind of stuff. So and I say these exact words, exactly what I'm saying right now. Those thoughts that were in my head at that time, I say those things to them, and it's like that bond, that it's like, this is the person who's going to lead me down the path of success. And so that is a big that's a story that I tell to anyone who it can relate to.
Absolutely.
And help get them light.
What is, as we wrap this up, and I have a surprise for you here at the end.
Oh no!
I think you'll like. What, like, for a lady entering the health and fitness wellness coaching industry, I kind of wrap it all up, because who knows what their niche is, and it's highly personal. It might be really holistic, which is also super cool. Give me like your best advice, you must do this. And we talked about being there, being empathetic, nurturing, but is there anything else? Because I want the women's fitness industry to expand.
This is really a tough one, because there are so many things that
what was the biggest surprise for you? The biggest surprise that you think, oh my gosh, now this is awesome.
Well, I would have to say, I almost, want to repeat something that I said earlier, and that was meeting my clients, meet your clients at the level that they're at. Okay. As trainers, we may not have, licenses in nutrition and things like that, but we have a responsibility to tell our clients what at least they shouldn't be eating, and what they could be eating more of to, help speed up that process. And so pay attention, have your clients make a log 1 to 2 days of, what it is that they're eating, what they're putting in their mouth, and make sure that the program that you put them on is not like, we should be eating plenty of carbs and vegetables and fruits throughout the day, right? So I know so many people that either tell their clients to go on 0 carbs or, give them 150, 200 grams of carbs right out the bat, and their clients gain a bunch of weight, and they're like, oh, I don't, they get all upset, and they're like, I don't know what happened, and then their client leaves them because they gained weight or they felt like crap, or so you need to meet your clients where they're at nutritionally and work them up slowly into where you want them to be. The adaptation rule applies to nutrition just as much as it applies to training. So meet your clients where they're at, and show them progress on a weekly basis, no matter what that progress is, whether it's getting stronger, whether it's losing an inch here, whether it's their clothes fitting differently, whether it's giving them compliments and telling them that, they're, looking, their skin is looking better, or their speed is faster in the gym, or, whatever it is. Show them progress often, weekly, and they will stick with you for a long time. I have clients that have been with me for 7 years.
Wow.
And it's because I'm continuously challenging them. I'm continuously mixing things up, and so it never gets boring. I compliment them often. I brag about them. If you do that to your clients, you will have a very prosperous, profitable business.
Absolutely. And you ready for your surprise?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
scared.
No. So after much deliberation, the editorial department of Personal Trainer Magazine decided that you will be on the cover of the next issue.
What?
Yes.
That is crazy.
So we're gonna do a really cool in-depth story about your journey and the things that you've done, and everyone's gonna have to pick up or download the next issue. So if you guys haven't seen the magazine before, it's personaltrainermagazine.com, personaltrainermagazine.com. You can get it for iPad in the newsstand. It's available as a Kindle book and also as a PDF download at personaltrainermagazine.com. So that will be coming out later, actually late summer 2015. So if you're, depending on when you're watching or listening to this, you're still going to get it because you can get all the archived magazines as well. So Neener, you didn't know I was going to do that, did you?
No. That's amazing. Thank you, John.
Pretty cool. No worries. All right, so let's give people your web address. You have a new site, and so give them that because you're going to be able to spell it better than I can. So go ahead.
Yep, it's valkyrieathletics.com. V as in Victor, ALKYRIE athletics.com.
There you go. valkyrieathletics.com. Jenny, thank you so much. You guys check out the website, and then, of course, check out the upcoming issue. It's going to come out pretty soon of Personal Trainer Magazine, and you're going to see her smiling face on the cover and a really cool in-depth story inside. So thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching and listening wherever you're seeing or listening or hearing this. We appreciate your participation. Please leave some comments, and please leave a review on iTunes. Thanks a lot.